Conventional wisdom always dictates that if you want to make a choice, let it be a safe bet. But I'm not like most people, and I don't like conventions. So today, I will be reviewing the phone that I've been using for quite some time, the Sony Xperia 1 from 2019, and I will share my view and opinions, and ultimately whether you should join along to get this rather odd quirk of a phone. So let's begin. Let's get right into the tech specs, shall we? The Sony Xperia 1 comes in with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 SoC with an Adreno 640 GPU. This means that for day-to-day tasks, it will run smoothly. It also comes in with Android 11. Quite the admirable specifications, even for 2019, let alone 2022. For the screen, it has a 4K 6.5-inch OLED display with a 21.9 aspect ratio. Yes, this is quite a long phone. I mean, this aspect ratio in and of itself makes it a defining factor for most of Sony's phones currently. The main camera has a 12 megapixel wide telephoto and ultra wide, and it is capable of recording 4K at 30 frames per second. The selfie camera, on the other hand, is only 8 megapixels and can record at 1080p 30 frames per second. The battery is quite decent. It only has a 3300 milliamp hour capacity. However, it does come with fast charging, so at least you can charge quickly if you need the extra juice. Well, it's not all sunshines and roses out there, because this phone does have a couple of flaws. One of them being no headphone jack, but we live in 2022, so let's move on. The phone does come with Wi-Fi AC, Bluetooth 5.0, NFC connectivity, and its port is a USB Type-C 3.1 speed. The phone also comes with a side-mounted fingerprint, and unlike previous generations, this is a dedicated fingerprint and not a mix of a fingerprint and a button. The phone also comes with 64 gigs of UFS 2.1 speed storage with 6 gigs of RAM. However, if you find the storage memory to be rather small, you can expand upon it with a micro SD card slot above. The phone also comes with an IP65/68 rating of dust and water resistant, which means that this phone can withstand up to 1.5 meters of water for about 30 minutes. Alright, time for a bit of a personal story on how I managed to get this phone. Well, my previous phone, the Sony Xperia XZ1, is showing its age a bit. I mean, that phone came out 2 years before this phone, so it's a given that it's time for another phone cycle. But I was running into some difficulties, and that is, there isn't much of a cheap phone out there. So I did decide to go look up to, third-party resellers out there that do have quite interesting phones, and I managed to come across this phone for 600 ringgit, which is a good bargain considering that its original price is quite expensive, to say the least. So yeah, it's been quite a month or two since I've used this phone, and I can definitely say for sure that it is definitely worth the bargain. Now, the plus sides to this phone is that despite its rather unconventional aspect ratio, I would say that for my use case, it's become more of a benefit than a liability to me. Even though, yes, I did have to get used to this form factor, but I would not lie, calling on this phone is a blessing, considering that it's taller than wider. And the fact that it's running pure stock Android with only a couple of Sony's bells and whistles, it moves along quite nicely. I had no performance issues whatsoever compared to the many skins of Androids out there. So, in conclusion, is this phone perfect for the masses? Obviously not. Would this phone get a lot of clicks for most of the phone users out there? No. But if you're like me and you prefer unconventional, powerful, and certainly stand out from the crowd, you might want to take a look at this phone. I know I have. And maybe, who knows, this could be your next phone. My name is Muhammad Daniel Arif. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.